Witnesses in school can't do much of anything. They can't join any extracurricular activities such as sports. They can't be in the band. They can't be involved in theatrics. They can't be involved in school politics. I mean, the list goes on and on. Dick and Chelsea, can you think of some other things that, witness children can't participate in?
Well, they can't go to high school dances, for one thing. Can't go to high school football games because you're associating with bad people, or people that aren't Jehovah's Witnesses who they claim are bad people.
Good, Dick. Now, how about Chelsea? Are the witnesses ever encouraged to go to school, extra school, like college?
Oh, absolutely not. That's all they want is for you to go to the meetings and focus on that, and they would never try to help you further your education in any way.
There's never any encouragement at all on that. In fact, the reason why I even bring this up, friends, is when a Jehovah's Witness young person, child, goes into the court system, they're going to be asked questions. In other words, in any normal society, children should be able to be children and grow up a pretty normal life. So what the Watchtower does is they deceive people. For example, there's a comment concerning the witness children. Let's just say that if it was brought up, and the questions could be asked to a witness child in court. Would you ever have a desire to be a journalist? And of course, we know that being a journalist would require a college education. But it's never to be mentioned to the court, to the judge, or to the other court officials that Jehovah's Witnesses discourage or condemn actually higher education. So they try to make it seem like, it's okay. We would allow for our child to be a journalist and get education if they need it. But the real fact is, Dick, you know it, do they encourage education?
No, they really don't. I know my first year in college, when one of the elders saw me taking my books to the car to go to school, he asked me, "Are you going to school?" And I said, "Well, yeah, but I'm going on the GI Bill, and I make money, and I pay my rent with that. I had to think fast. My wife is pioneering. That helps her to pioneer. And well, couldn't you be a window washer, or couldn't you be a house cleaner or something?" I said, "Well, I can't make. I'm making more money. Just going to school on a GI Bill."
Yep.
So they really didn't like the idea that I was going.
Oh, yeah, no, that's exactly what takes place in the world of the Jehovah's Witnesses, friends. You're discouraged from doing anything. So what the court is trying to see here in custody cases, are Jehovah's Witness children leading a normal life? The answer to that is absolutely no. And so consequently, the judges, they're going to be asking questions like, can you go to a school dance? And then the witnesses are encouraged through this theocratic war strategy to say, well, if we want to go to a school dance, we could. But, it's a conscientious matter, and they could go. They're not going to be disfellowshipped because they go to a school dance, but they know it would be improper to do that. So they're trained. They actually train children to actually lie in court. And this is preposterous. This is over the top. And if you're out there listening today, if you're Jehovah's Witness, examine this. Punch into the Internet. Get on the Internet. Go into Google. Punch in Jehovah's Witnesses war strategy, theocratic war strategy, and you're going to be amazed at what goes on behind the scenes in the Jehovah's Witness religion. Now, one of the most damaging things, as we mentioned even earlier in the first part of our program, is Jehovah's Witnesses being disfellowshipped for not wanting to participate in Jehovah's Witness doctrine. If you challenge them, you just fellowshipped, is what they call it, or excommunicated, as other religions call it. But what that does is they shun you, they treat you as you're spiritually dead. And this also has a lot of bad influence on a child in a custody case, because sometimes in a family, in fact most times in a family, when one of the mates is questioning the Watchtower and they're disfellowshipped, this creates a lot of strain on the child. And that's why I got searching the net, folks. I got into YouTube, and someone did capture an actual elder in the state of Utah lying under oath in a court of law. And we're going to give a little video clip of that. I'd like you to take a look at it and see what you think, and we'll be right back after this clip.
Such things as Amish and so forth, where shunning is involved, where the whole family is shunned or whatever. We do not feel, families are families, even after conduct, even after these things. Families still remain the focus. So disfellowshipping is from a congregational standpoint, not a family. I really need to emphasize that.
So, would it be accurate to say that a member of the same family is not required to disfellowship another member of their family?
Yeah, the way we look at that is, let's say, for example, a husband and wife. The wife gets disfellowshipped.
Okay.
They're still married. They still get up in the morning. They still need to know where the Cheerios are. It's not like they throw them out into the street and say, you're shunned, you're no longer part of the family.
Does the husband still talk to the wife?
They still talk. They still have marital due. The family arrangement, that's why I say it's not a family matter.
Well, you saw the clip. I mean, you saw the elder. You've seen the effects of lying. I mean, this man was all over the map with lying. He lied about a lot of things, but let's just focus on the disfellowshipping. You know, it was mentioned to him, well, what happens when a Jehovah's Witness no longer wants to follow the doctrine of the Watchtower? And he said, well, they're disfellowship, but it really doesn't disrupt the family. Dick, you have been disfellowshipped. Would this elder in that video clip we just saw, is he telling the truth?
No, he's not telling the truth. When a parent is disfellowshipped, it raises a lot of havoc with the family. You can't talk to your kids, or they won't talk to you. It also, what a psychologist actually told me is that when a parent gets disfellowshipped, the child's whole life is associated with the parent when they're at a young age. And when a person is disfellowshipped, the whole world is told he's a bad person. He's not able to be in the congregation. So it brings the children down. They suffer for it psychologically also. But back to your question, a person who is disfellowshipped suffers greatly, not only the humiliation of being disfellowshipped, but the wall it puts up between myself and my children.
Yeah, I mean, you're firsthand, Dick, you've seen this happen in your congregation right here in Lowell, Massachusetts. You were disfellowshipped. And disfellowshipping, friends, can take place for many reasons. If you don't believe in Watchtower doctrine, or you went against their thoughts on certain issues, whether it be immorality, whether it be stealing or whatever, and people get disfellowshipped. But the hostility that is shown to the disfellowship one is really unbelievable. Now, Dick, you had to, just so for the sake of the audience listening here today, when you were disfellowship, where did you have to sit when you went to the Kingdom Hall meetings?
Well, you had to sit in the back, and I sat in the back for over a year and a half asking the elders if I could be reinstated, and they kept saying, well, probably not just now, but they never tell you when. And if they don't like what you've done, they keep you out forever. And there's no way of getting back in unless they let you back in. And I went to the meetings for a year and a half. They wouldn't let me back in.
Dick, I'm glad you can speak up and talk about it. I wish more people would come forward and speak up about this heinous, evil doctrine as well, theocratic warfare, but also the policy of disfellowshipping. I mean, I've been disfellowshipped myself, friends, for apostasy. I spoke up against the Watchtower organization, and they disfellowshipped me back in the year 2005. But even till this day, I have 2 children that will not even speak to me. If I walk by one in the market basket, for example, they'll just kind of keep walking along, and they might stop and maybe have 1 or 2 words with you, but that's about it. You're considered spiritually dead. And I want our audience to know about that. That should bring tears to people's eyes when you stop and think about it. Now, you know, you're probably watching the program, you're saying, hey, these guys are making it all up. These guys are, throwing things in here that aren't true. Well, you can check it out. I mean, all you got to go to Google, punch in Jehovah's Witnesses, punch in war strategies, we said earlier. You'll find the real answers. Find out what the Watchtower is hiding behind. In fact, even another thing I wanted to bring to your attention. It's so important for a Jehovah's Witness to look at the other side of the track. You seem to only stay so loyal to the Watchtower, but if you're going to put so much loyalty and blind trust in an organization that you really don't know too much about, I think you'd want to check it out and understand that this Watchtower is indeed something that is not a good organization. If you like this type of programming, every Saturday night, if you get into our website, 6screensofthewatchtower.com, we have a radio program that goes on, and you might find that interesting as well, where callers call in from all over the world. Well, we want to thank you very much for coming in today to Eyes on the Watchtower, and by all means, continue to check this program out. And we want to say to all of the Jehovah's Witnesses, when you leave the Watchtower, please turn off the new light.